Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tooele City Hall and to our Meet the Candidate night. We are just thrilled to see so many people here tonight. You never know. You schedule an event, and you know how important it is, and sometimes you get a good turnout, and sometimes you don't. So I am just so thrilled to see all of you here tonight. I want to especially thank a few special people. Shiloh Baker is our city recorder, and Loretta Heron is our deputy recorder, and they have worked so hard to put this organized event together to help you learn some more about the candidates. We also have two special volunteers that you see them everywhere in the county donating their time and helping. In fact, Saturday, there's going to be a special carnival out to the Dow James for the special needs kids, so that's really awesome. So Chris and Berna Sloan are here tonight. They are going to be really running this program, so we're very appreciative of them. And lastly, last but not least, of course, is our candidates. I've been in the seat. I understand how nerve-wracking it is to put yourself on the line when you're trying to serve the public and you want to do good and put your best foot forward and serve people. And sometimes it's a difficult thing to do. So I admire anyone that will be brave enough and be willing to put their name out there and help to serve the public. So again, thank you so much for being here tonight. I would ask if you would stand with me and please repeat the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. And now I will turn the time over to Shiloh Baker, City Recorder.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you. I'll reiterate what the mayor said. Thank you for everyone for being here tonight. We are thrilled with this turnout and appreciate all of you being willing to take time out to become an active and very well-informed voter. I also want to just remind everyone we are live streaming this on YouTube, so we welcome all of our YouTube watchers. I just wanted to start with letting but voting is one of the most important ways that we can shape the future of our city. Every election gives residents the chance to have a direct voice in the decisions that affect our daily lives, things like safety and emergency services, water, roads, and parks. When we vote, we help choose leaders who represent our values and priorities, and we hold them accountable for the choices they make on our behalf. Voting isn't just a right, it's a responsibility that strengthens our community and ensures everyone's voice is heard. By showing up to vote, we each play a part in building a stronger, more responsive, and more connected city for everyone. So I just want to share a little bit of general election information. So this year on the 2025 general election ballot, you will have the opportunity to vote for one mayoral candidate and two city council candidates. If you are an active registered voter in Tooele County, your ballot will be mailed to you between October 14th and October 28th. If you don't receive your ballot during that time, please contact the Tooele County Clerk, Tracy Shaw, immediately. To make sure your ballot is counted, you can return your ballot several ways. You can mail it, and ballots just need to be received by the clerk's office on or before 8 p.m. on Election Day, which is November 4th this year. Postmark deadlines no longer apply, so please mail early. They have to be received at the county clerk's office before 8 p.m. on November 4th. You can also drop off your ballot in person at the Tooele County Clerk's office. That is not this building. That is the building just south of us here. At a polling location or at any drop box in the county. They just need to be there by 8 p.m. on November 4th. There are two drop boxes in Tooele City. One is here at the south end of City Hall by our utility drop box, and then one at the Tooele County building in their front parking lot. If you still need to register to vote, there is time. You just need to register by October 24th at 5 p.m. You can still register in several ways. You can do a paper form. You can find that online at vote.utah.gov and then mail or email it to the county clerk's office. You can register online at vote.utah.gov that one is voter.utah.gov, and that really is, it goes right to where you register, or register in person at the county clerk's office. You do need a valid driver's license or valid Utah ID. If you miss the October 24th deadline, but don't, you can register to vote at an early voting location or on election day to cast a provisional ballot. However, you will need to present 2 forms of ID at the voting location. We do have early voting this year. Early voting will take place Monday, October 27th through October 31st from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. each of those days at the county clerk's office. And there will be in-person election day voting. The polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And there are 2 locations in the county, one being at the Tooele County Admin Building and the other at the Grantsville Fire Station. You do have to bring valid ID with you. We're just asked to remind everyone that election day voting is designed to assist voters who need to replace their ballots, for voters who did not receive a mail ballot, or voters who need to use a voting machine that offers accessible features such as audio ballot. However, everyone is welcome, but if you received a mail ballot, you're encouraged to skip the lines on election day and postmark and just get your ballot in by 8 p.m., either by mailing it, Dropbox, or dropping it off at the county clerk's office. You can find more information online at tooelacity.gov/elections, at tooeleco.gov/elections, or at vote.utah.gov, which has all of our candidates' profiles. All right, so the rest of the evening will go as follows. We will give each of our candidates 2 minutes to introduce themselves. We'll start here with Marisa and follow this order. Following introductions, our moderator, Chris Sloan, will randomly draw a question and ask the candidates 6 questions in rotating order. We used an online generator to randomize the order. The questions were all submitted by residents prior to this evening's event, and we were thrilled with the turnout we had. We had more questions than we could answer tonight, and so if you submitted a question and your question is not asked this evening, we encourage you to reach out to the candidates. You can email them. Their email addresses are on our website, tooelacity.gov/elections. And for those who are able, they will also be out in the rotunda after this event. You can ask them your questions or follow up then. So as we ask the questions, each candidate will have 90 seconds to answer. And our timekeeper, Berna Sloan, this is for the candidate. She will hold up the yellow 30 seconds card when you have 30 seconds left, and the red stop card when your time is up. We ask that you please stop when your time is up. And then again, afterwards, if you have more questions for our candidates, they will be available for about 15 to 30 minutes after this event out in the rotunda. So again, I just want to thank our moderator, Chris Sloan, and our timekeeper, Berna Sloan, for taking the time and being here tonight. And now we will turn the time over to our candidates, and we'll start with Marisa.
Great, thank you for being here tonight. My name is Marisa Manzione, and I am a Tooele native. I'm married to David. We graduated from Tooele High School and Utah State University, and after getting a business degree, we decided to move back to Tooele to raise our 4 kids. I now have 3 grandkids that live with me because their parents are building a house in Tooele, so that's very exciting. I have over 30 years of business and leadership experience. I've been involved in the PTA for over 27 years on a local and a state level, and I'm most recently the compliance vice president. I founded a small business. It's called Mountain West Cultural Exchange, of which I'm the president. And I worked on the Tooele County School District Board of Education for 9 years. And when I was there, the taxes were stable and we raised teacher pay. I've currently, for the last 5 years, been working for you on the City Council. And together with the Mayor's Office, we as a City Council have accomplished a lot of things in the last few years. We have brought over $850 million in business development. Took an empty lot and made it into a shopping center. Ross opens on Saturday. We have brought over 1,000 new jobs in industry, like to places like Central State, Layton-Poma, and the Peterson Industrial Depot. We're actively recruiting businesses to lower our taxes here. We've paid off our debt. We have increased police pay and built a fire station. And most exciting, we finished England Acres Park, which sat incomplete for a number of years. I think being a mayor is not just about me. It's about Tooele City and our residents here, and it's about leading a team to do the great things to make our city great, and then taking responsibility for those decisions. I want to continue Tooele's forward progress and build leadership that outlasts me and make it a place where my other 3 children want to come and build a house. I will do more than just 10 meetings. I'm a hard worker, and I will work to make our city a great place to live and shop and work. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brad Pratt. For the past 30 years, I have owned and operated a successful Tooele-based national medical management corporation. I built it from the ground up, created jobs, balanced budgets, managed employees and growth, navigated national contracts, making complex financial decisions in building opportunities. Skills Tooele needs in its next mayor. That experience matters. Being that type of business owner, that means I'm accountable for every dollar, every decision, and every family that relies on me for a paycheck. Public service is also part of my past. I served 8 years on the Tooele City Council, including 4 years as council chairman and 3 years as RDA chairman. During that time, we made strategic land purchases that led to many exciting developments, such as Founders Point. We helped unlock millions of dollars of new business investment and created hundreds of new jobs. And those numbers are still climbing today. I was proud to champion projects that matter to families, securing land for new public safety facilities, fire and police stations, University of Utah AirMed, and also growing our educational corridor that includes Utah State University Tooele campus and Tooele Technology College, expanding our water resources and pushing forward on phase 1 of the Mid-Valley Highway. I know what it takes to build a vision, implement it, and leave behind a strategy that lasts long after my service. You can see that outcome today. Tooele's future is bright, but it requires business and government leadership that is proven, responsible, and rooted in both vision and values. And that's exactly what I will do if I'm elected as your next mayor. Thank you very much. My name is Brad Pratt, and I'm asking for your vote on November 4th.
Good evening. My name is Dave McCall, and I've lived in Tooele for 32 years. And I'll be the first to tell you that I did not want to come to Tooele when they sent me here, but I'm glad they did. And ever since I've been here, working with I was in the Marine Corps, and the unit was stationed here on Tooele Army Depot. Though most of you probably remember the Marine station at Tooele Army Depot. But ever since then, the Toys for Tots is a big thing for the Marines. And I remember walking down Main Street, putting boxes up to collect toys for the toy drive. That sparked my interest in this community. I met a lot of people. I got to know a lot of people, and I basically fell in love with the community. And when I retired in 2000, I had the choice of moving to wherever I really wanted to go, and I opted to stay here in Tooele. And I've been active in the community. I helped with the Veterans Memorial. I do a lot of veterans projects, mostly veterans, but I do other things than that. This is my home. I love this place. And I'm asking for your support to do one last term on the council. I agree with some of the things that have been said because a lot of them I got to witness. And I want to make sure that everybody's aware that I never have been and I never will be a yes person. So if what we're looking for is something to go the right way, and I think I'm one of the people to do that. So I ask for your support on November 4th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm John Gossett, and I'm running for Tooele City Council. 25 years ago, my beautiful wife Tracy and I came out here and raised our 4 kids. And you know, we look around and we see how much the population's changed since then, and I can tell you why it does. Now that 6 people that moved out here is now 17 and still growing. Because we love Tooele, we love where we live, we love our neighbors, we love our community. So one of my favorite things to do is go to the grocery store. And as you go to the grocery store in Tooele, I never go one time that I don't run into people that I know and I care about. So that's one of my reasons for staying where we stay. Many of you might know me from 2014. We started a little bit of public service when I co-founded Life's Worth Living Foundation, a suicide prevention foundation here in Tooele. We've done some amazing things since then. We do the 100-mile walk to Wendover every April. If you've looked over at the Veterans Park, you see the big, proud statue that's there in the park. First statue in the nation dedicated to veteran suicide. We're really proud of what we've done. I'm also on the Tooele City Historic Main Street Commission, where we're working to revitalize our historic downtown, try to bring retail back, get people walking on the sidewalks again and shopping downtown. We took the first step by renovating an old building, and we have a little boutique down there that has gotten some national attention as we make cowboy hats all over the country. I'm also on the planning and zoning for the city, and I've worked with the homeless here. I love where I live. I would love to be on the city council, and I would appreciate your vote this November. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight, and thank you to the city personnel who made this happen. My name is Spencer Peck, and I'm also running for Tooele City Council. I have lived in Tooele since 1997 and raised my 4 beautiful children here, and I own a small business called A Perfect Plumber. So I've been in many of your homes fixing your plumbing and helping you keep things flowing. So in that business experience, I have to be creative every day. And so what I'm hoping to bring to the city council is thinking outside the box a little bit. This is my first foray into government or public service per se. And so I hope to bring a little more creativity than just raising taxes. I think we can do better than that to make our city a better place to be and make it more affordable for all of us. Some of the goals I would like to achieve, everyone talks about water, taxes, roads, growth. All those things have to be addressed. One thing that's very important to me in lieu of recent events is getting us back to faith, family, and country. Those are 3 things that I think we've lost in our society that is going to return us to where we need to be. And be civil with each other and have discussions. You can disagree, but we have to make decisions based on what's best for the city as a whole. And so those are some of the things I'm hoping to bring to the council. And so I ask for your vote upcoming here in November. I look forward to serving. We've done many service projects with my company as far as bathroom giveaways. Many of you have seen those on Facebook over the years where we did a service project, and I would like to continue that service feeling with the community and doing things and creating things that make it a great place to be. So thank you, and I look forward to serving you as your next councilman.
Good evening. This feels really weird to have everybody behind me. Welcome to all of you. Welcome all of you that have joined us here and online. It's a pleasure to be here. Shiloh went through the rules and the format of this. She mentioned the random generated is generated. The order of these questions will be answered on your behalf. That said, the first question, which are all hidden in this super secret secure box, we'll read them one at a time. We'll go through in the order that I'll read to you. This first one will start with Ms. Manzione. And again, to remind you, you have 90 seconds to answer it. And don't make the pretty lady gong yet.
So short.
Yeah, I understand. Question number 1. What do you feel is the most significant infrastructure issue facing our city, such as roads, water, or utilities?
It's hard to choose just one. I think the Reclamation Center is in need a lot of work. Our transportation system needs a lot of work, and we always have to work on water. So in the past few years, we've worked a lot on these things. We're working hard to make sure the reclamation plant can continue to keep up with the growth that we have. It does need some work. It was left for about 20 years without any maintenance, and so we are doing a little of catch up right now, but we've been working on that. And our transportation system, I've been working with UDOT for the last 2 years to get an easement over the Army Depot so that we can get that road built before the Mid-Valley Highway comes. We're also working with the county and with the state to work on the Mid-Valley Highway and get that prioritized so we can get it here in our valley. And then I've been working with the mayor on getting some property from individual landowners so we can get some easements, so we can put some roads in that are not Main Street, so that we can get around town without going on SR 36. We've also we just drilled 2 new test wells. One of them proved to be really good, and so we're going to be digging a well there. And we have, for the first time ever, I think in the history of Tooele, cleaned the filters of our wells. And it's amazing how well they produce when they're clean. So we're working really hard to make sure that we're maintaining the things that need to keep our residents moving along in the city and drinking good water. And we'll continue to do that to make sure that our needs are met. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I would say that the top concern that I have right now would be our transportation. That would be seconded by our water situation. And third, I would say that we need to work seriously hard on recruiting and getting jobs here for our residents. We need, 75% of our workforce travels to Salt Lake every day to work. And if any of you have been on SR 36, you find that it's a nightmare. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to witness UDOT's report about our transportation system in Tooele. We are to a crisis, and we need to address this, and we need to work on this, or we're going to fall short of being able to get anywhere, even in our valley. We need to also work on our water system. Water is the lifeline that we rely on in this community to build. We need, and we can't correct it by ourselves. We need to unite with the county and the other entities in this valley to get our water system up to speed for the future. And those 2 things I think we need to are most important.
Mr. McCall.
I have to agree with what Marissa said about the water, as well as the utilities. To me, our utilities is a big thing. We did neglect a lot of our infrastructure for years, mainly because we did not want anyone to go without a job. We did not. During the hard times, Tooele City didn't lay anybody off. But with that, it was a great move, admirable move, but that move basically set us back. And the one thing that I'd like for everyone to understand, when you put something off today, next week is going to come back and bite you. That's basically the situation that the city was in. So we had to do what we could do with less. Now, under the direction of Mayor Nguyen, we're solid. We're good to go, and I want us to continue to go. We have growth. We need to make sure that the infrastructure for the new growth is there. The older parts of the city needs to be updated, and you can see the people out, our maintenance crew out all the time. but we constantly have to get it better, because in order for us to grow the right way, our infrastructure has to be updated. And that to me is one of the biggest issues we need to do, between that and fire and safety. Thank you.
Well, I've been studying the traffic for like 20 years. As you know, 36 is a state-run road. But for about 20 years, I've been trying to figure out why I couldn't see my kids on Main Street, because usually they were skipping school and taking the side roads. And so they've been showing me different ways around town without being on Highway 36, and I think that's huge. We've got to work on traffic for sure. I work out of town quite a bit of the time, and the commutes have gotten very difficult. So we need to work with the state. We need to figure that solution. As was said earlier, we have 2 test wells already that we're testing. We've got to stay ahead of that as a city, make sure that we're finding sources of water that can continue the growth that we're seeing. The projected numbers are high, and so we need to be able to make sure that water is life. We've got to have that for the rest of the time. So those 2 things are huge. I don't know that you can, all these same topics you're going to hear all night long, but they're hot topics for every one of us. The growth, and I talked really quick, and now I'm trying to think what I can say. But yeah, the water's huge. We got to get the water. We have to make sure that we're updated, and we need to continue forward so that we can handle the growth that's coming.
So a lot of great comments have been said. As a plumber, I have a keen appreciation for water, as do all of you in your homes. And so as far as the infrastructure in the city, as has been mentioned, there's a lot of things that need to take place. For heaven's sake, if we're going to build a road, let's build it wide enough that we don't have to tear it up in 5 years and have construction going on everywhere. The first thing business is going to look at when they come out here is the infrastructure. Do you have the water? Do you have the roads? Do you have the power? And all the things that are necessary to run a business. We all are going to experience growth, whether we like that or not. And in order to bring industry here, we have to have those things. So water is paramount, roads are paramount, and making sure that those businesses that do come contribute to the revenue that comes into the city. So I would like to see a Tooele where not only do our kids grow up here, but they're able to work here. And so if we have the infrastructure to bring business and career jobs, then we can keep our children here, because my children all moved away because there's not enough industry here. And so, yes, we need to focus on water, and I'm willing to work with city and county and state leaders to make sure we have enough water for all of us to survive and for our kids to survive and not only live here but work here. So all those things are paramount to help Tooele grow and make it a great place for all of us. Thank you.
Okay, question number 2, we're going to start with Mr. Pratt. How do you plan to address the increasing challenges regarding the stray/lost/loose pet population, especially in light of last year's changes to animal control and the animal shelter?
Great question. Thank you. I need to tell you all that first of all, I have become a animal lover big time. I have a couple of golden doodles that mean a lot to me. I'm concerned about our animal shelter. I'm concerned about the service that needs to be provided, and I am also concerned about the financing and the ability that we have to keep that operational. I think that there are other entities besides the city of Tooele that utilize that, and I think we need to unite together in this valley in solving that issue. And when I say unite together, I say the political entities here, other cities, the county, and all of us unite together on how we can solve the animal shelter situation and give the service to this valley that is needed to protect animals and particularly those that are strays and in need.
Mr. McCall, before you start, just if for some reason you need me to repeat the question, just have me repeat the question as well. Some of these are not necessarily short. So, Mr. McCall, go ahead.
Yes, I know there's been some issues at the animal shelter. While serving as a member of the COG, I was put basically in charge of trying to figure out what we could do with countywide, basically, with the county, Grantsville, and I worked with some of the leaders about that, about the animal shelter. Bottom line is Tooele's, at that time, Tooele's basically on its own, even though Tooele know that most of the county will bring animals to the shelter. We are currently working on expanding the animal shelter. We have the room there to do that. One of the main issues that we face with the animal shelter right now is, and I can say this about everything costs money. And we have funds to do that, but if we put extra people down at the animal shelter, that means we're taking them from someplace else. But we are addressing that issue. I know it is a big issue with a lot of people. We did do where the stray cats, we had a program with the stray cats. They would pick the cats up, they would neuter the cats, and then they would take them back. We don't kill them, but they would release them basically where they picked them up at. So we've been working, trying to fix the problem at the animal shelter. It's just something that can't be fixed overnight, and quite frankly, Tooele is on its own. Thank you.
Ms. Manzione, you're next on this one.
Thank you. I think this is a great question, too. And I grew up on a farm, so I have lived with animals my whole life. It's on the very north end of town, which is now the middle of town. So I think that a regional animal shelter would be the golden answer. That would be the best thing we could do, and I'm willing to work with other leaders to see if we can make that happen. But in the short term, I think one of the things we can do is make sure that we have open hours at our animal shelter so people can come after work, because we do have a lot of people who commute to Salt Lake, and so it's hard to make an appointment to come during the day to adopt an animal. So if we could use our resources, maybe mix some things up and move some things around so that it's not open in the morning, maybe open in the evening some nights, so that people have an easier opportunity to come and see the dogs and actually adopt the dogs and have that opportunity. I think what we have done is good in making sure that we're serving our Tooele residents first in taking care of the animals we have here in the city, because we want to take care of our animals. So again, I think the golden answer is the regional animal shelter, but it's going to take a minute to get there. So doing the short-term fix for now, and then working with the county to get that to happen. Thank you.
Mr. Peck.
So I have a keen love for animals also. I agree with what Marisa said. Also, we have to take personal responsibility. We all know that our pets are supposed to be on leashes and be responsible individually for those. Animal shelters are an important part of the animal population. If we see strays, things like that, I believe the city has a person that goes and picks up strays, is that right? And so one thing I want to mention too is being new to all this, I don't have the answers to all questions, and so I would invite the public also. We need your input from the community. How do we help with this without having to spend tons and tons of money on a particular problem that the city may or may not have? And so that's how I would solve the problem, with community involvement and working with the animal shelter and as a city council and with you as a public. How do we fix that? Help us to help you with that problem. And then I think it'll be better for everybody. Thank you.
Mr. Bassett.
All righty. Well, you know what? I think education is a big part of that. We've got to educate the public. We've got to make sure that they're aware of what's expected as an animal owner. I mean, it seems like common sense, but I mean, some of that gets away from us, and the rest of us pick up the tab for it. So, as everybody has mentioned, sometimes we're stronger when we're together, and we're in a valley where we're communities with everybody. And so, if we can work that out and make it happen as a valley, a regional hub, I think it's going to be much better than trying to do what we're doing on our own and carrying the weight of everybody. So I think I didn't even think about the hours, but yeah, that makes sense. Have extra hours so that we can bring the dogs, pick them up, and do everything after work. So, again, that's something that would have to be investigated. I don't know what the budget is for that item. I don't know how much it would require, and so something to look into, and I'd definitely like to hear your input on it.
Number 3, we're going to start with Mr. McCall. Oh, this is real easy, actually. You'll enjoy this one. Why are you running for office? And why do you feel you have the necessary skills for this office?
Sorry. No, I'm running because I have a big desire for this community. And I feel I have the necessary skills to do this, partly because I've done it for a while. And the more you ride around town, the more things that you see that's potentially broken, or just not necessarily broken, but bent, that can be fixed. And the mayor could tell you, I meet with her regularly, and I bring it up, the things that I see. Because the council is not in charge of the staff. The mayor is in charge of the staff. So I can't go to one of the supervisors and tell him something that I think he needs to do. So I report to her, and that's what she does. But this is a great community. The only thing that I would change with our community right now is try to get more of the citizens to take pride in their homes and firesides. We have a great city. It could look a lot better if more people paid attention to what they were doing with their homes. As far as beautification, I'm not telling people what to do with their homes, but beautifying it. And it is just a great place. And I invite everybody to go up to the gun club and just take a deep breath and just look around and look at the valley. This is one of the most prettiest valleys in the country. It really is. Thank you.
Mr. Gossett.
I'm running because, like I said, all my kids have settled out here in the valley. All my grandkids are going to be raised in this valley. And so I want to leave it better than we found it. I think the city's come a long way. What makes me fit for this position, I feel like I'm a good leader. I feel like over the last 11 years of running a nonprofit, I have been able to listen. Working in suicide prevention, you learn to listen to people, and I think that's what it's about. You guys are hiring us to work for you, and hopefully we'll hear from you. Hopefully you'll give your input. We might not know the answers, but if we open our ears and listen to you, you might have the answer that is the best one fit for the city. So I think that makes it's a good attribute for a city councilman to have, and like I said, I love my community. I don't want to be anywhere else, and this is where I plan to stay.
Mr. Pratt.
I've been in this community my entire life. I actually met my wife in City Hall. And my family's here. We've raised 3 children. 6 grandchildren, and they all live here. I've had the opportunity in the past to serve in this city and to serve you and to work with you. I've had the opportunity to have a business and operate a business from here in Tooele, a national-based business that is based right here in Tooele. I could have, and we could have, operated our business from anywhere in the nation. I could have lived anywhere. I could have lived in Maui. There is no place better anywhere than right here, than Tooele. There is no place better. I've been given a lot of opportunities to serve. I've been given a lot of opportunities to volunteer and help this community to move forward. And I've done that because of how important it is here. We raise our children here. We raise our grandchildren here. We work here. And we want to preserve that for generations to come. This is the most important place on earth. And that's why I want to serve as mayor. I think I have the background and expertise to do that and fill this job. I think I have the greatest qualifications to do that, and I ask for your vote.
So that's typically the first question you get asked when you want to step into the public forum. So for me, it comes down to one word, and that is impact. Tooele has been great to me and my family, and I feel in my heart that it's time to now give back to the community. I still serve the community with your plumbing needs and remodeling needs, but now it's time to help the city as a whole for me. To come up with creative solutions to help the city, not just some of the same old tired things that have been talked about. And so for me, that's why I'm running, and I think my business skills, owning a business since 2004, running payroll, running taxes, budgets, things like that, and having to tighten your belt when things get tough. That's what all of us have to do, and I think we have to come up with solutions as a city also to help us when things are tight. How do we, create a better solution rather than just raise taxes? And so that's what I'm hoping to bring to the city and to give back, but also understanding you as the public. As John said, we work for you. So we also need your help in making this the best place we can be, because we can't solve everything as a council. We need your input because you live here and you work here too. So that's what I'm hoping to do as your city councilman, and again, I ask for your vote in November. Thank you.
Ms. Manzione.
I love Tooele City. I have also lived here my whole life, and I have always loved living here. I love the forever and forever in Tooele phrase. And I believe that while I've been serving on the city council for the last 5 years, I have the current experience, and we have made a lot of progress while I've been on the council, while lowering the city's tax rate at the same time. And I want that forward progress to continue. And I'm a great leader. I also own a business, and I have to manage international students with host families and the problems they run into, and it takes a lot of finessing and leadership skills and listening skills. And so I've become a good listener through that experience. It's often after city council meeting that we have residents in the audience that I stay late and talk to those residents to see why they're here and how we can help them. And that's one of my favorite parts about serving on the city council is speaking with the citizens of Tooele City and listening to what their concerns are, what their happy things are, and the things that are happening in Tooele and how we can make it better. And that's what I want to do, is I want to leave it better than I found it. Thank you.
All right, everybody take a breath. You're halfway home.
You got one more easy one?
Nothing easier than that one. Next question, we're going to start with you, Mr. Gossett. What is your current job, and how will you balance your current job with duties as mayor or city council member?
All righty, so I'm a contractor, and I've been a tile contractor, self-employed since 1993. I've worked all over the state, all over the Intermountain West. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to slow down a little bit, and I'm kind of getting to pick and choose the jobs that I want to do. Like I said, we have a business in downtown Tooele that my wife runs, and I help with. And I think being self-employed gives you a bit of freedom to be where you need to be when you need to be there. I can schedule around things. I typically, it's kind of funny, I think most nights, I don't think Tracy and I get home till 10 o'clock. We're up at 5 in the morning and we run until late at night. But I think there is some freedom that comes with being self-employed, and I'm able to schedule around what needs to be done. So I think that makes it easy to work around this part-time job. So.
Mr. Peck.
So when I first put out into I believe it was on Facebook, that I was going to be run, one of the comments I got was, how can you run a business and go into government service or public service? You have to choose one or the other. I said, well, as far as I understand it, every member of the city council, unless they're retired, has a full-time job other than city council, which is true for me also. As you know, I'm a plumber and a general contractor. And so running that business and dealing with the issues of the city, as John also mentioned, there's some flexibility owning a business and having people help you run your business where I can devote the time needed to the issues that have come up with the city. And so, because I've done that in the past. And so, anyway, that's the balance will come with your willingness and to serve. And so if it's a priority to you to serve the public and you own a business, you'll find time. And so that's, I'm committed to doing that, to serve the public and to serve you, and to continue running my business, my plumbing business also, in another effort to build the community, give the community something they need. So this is just another opportunity for me to give the community something they need. And those are the skills I think I have, and I'm ready to do that. And so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mr. Pratt.
Thank you. I'm grateful for that question because the reason that I'm running for mayor is because of my business. I've had a business for 30 years. I opened that business and started that business not just myself, but in connection with my lovely wife that has helped me run that business for 30 years. Fortunately, I've had the opportunity to make adjustments in that business so that I didn't need to continue in the CEO position of that business, which gave me the opportunity to have time to run for mayor. This is something that I've had the background and the opportunity to have experience in preparing for doing this. So we've made adjustments in what we do in our business so that I could, the mayor's job is a full-time job. It's not like the city council. It's not like a part-time job, and so I've been able to make adjustments to be able to do this job full-time and use my experience in business and bring that to the city and give that service to the city.
Ms. Manzione.
Thank you. I currently have 3 jobs. I am the president of Mountain West Cultural Exchange. I am this Utah PTA compliance vice president, and I serve on the city council. And for 5 years, I've been managing those 3 things. When I made the decision with my family to run for mayor, I knew there would have to be some adjustments. And so this is my last term as PTA compliance vice president, despite the begging that I've had. So that will be ending, and I have a board on my my business, and so they will be picking up the slack of that business so that I can commit to full-time to serving my residents in Tooele City, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Mr. McCall.
First of all, I just want to say, I've heard it several times, but I think there's a misconception because my wife won't go to the grocery store with me that frequently because you get hit up in the grocery store with a question from a citizen, and you, as a council member, you have to stand and answer that question. So if someone is talking to me at 8 or 9 o'clock at night in Walmart or early in the morning at Walmart, it makes me question, is this really a part-time job? Because it's not. It's written as a part-time job, but it really isn't. But for myself, thank goodness, I've retired for the second time and in April, so I have plenty of time. In fact, I told the wife the other day that I'm working harder now than I was when I was actually working, because I can't use the line, "Oh, I got to go to work." But I have the time, and I will make the time that I need to do the job. Thank you.
Okay, this question we're going to start with Mr. Peck. This is a little bit of a long one, so Despite homeowners paying substantial permit and impact fees intended to ensure quality construction, many residents feel the city isn't adequately monitoring construction work and quality, resulting in issues like sinking roads and damaged driveways. As an elected official, how would you justify these fees and ensure the city takes accountability for the protections they're meant to provide? Mr. Pack.
And that's a great question, and I feel that same pain because I am in the construction industry, and so as a city councilman, I would first of all want to work, have people come in and talk to me and say, there's a problem with the road, and then, deal with the right people to address that issue. Now, understanding any road repairs are expensive, and again, we have to stay within budgets that make the city so that we don't have to raise taxes on different things. But roads are, important. None of us like to ride on a road that has a bunch of potholes. We get cracks in our windshields, things like that. And so roads are very important. I would want to work with the department that handles the roads, talking with them. Let's make a plan. Okay, if we have roads that are in need of repair, let's put them on the list to be repaired because everybody wants that road repaired. But you got to work with the people. You've got to make those coalitions and make those plans to do the city. Now, is every road going to get finished the next day? Absolutely not. But if you let us know that there's a problem, then we're happy to work with those people and come up with a solution. But, again, just don't expect it to be done overnight because that's just not realistic. But that is very important as part of city council, handling the road construction and the road maintenance, snow plows, all that stuff that has to deal with roads. So thank you for the question.
Gossett.
Alrighty, so I think I know what we're talking about. Everybody's seen that little snippet on the news. And I don't know the whole situation with that subdivision and the issues that they've had, and I don't know where the fault lies. But I think it's important that when we're on city council that we start looking into those things and we try to do our best to make sure that the products that we're giving to our citizen is top notch. We need to make sure that when they build a home, that's a forever home for. It might not be a forever home for the family, but it's a forever home for Tooele. So we need to make sure that whatever we do, we're ensuring that the standards are being met and that those homes will last forever. And like I said, I know where the question's coming from, but I'm not privy to that information that probably the mayor and other people are.
Thank you. It's important for people to be able to live and work and drive and shop and here. And it's important for us to maintain good roads. And for many years, our roads were not maintained to the standard they should have been. Right now, I think the Public Works Department that we have is top notch. Our Public Works Director works really hard to make sure that our impact fees are spent well on things that impact our city. That's what an impact fee is for, something that's impacting our city right now. And we're working hard on we make sure that all of our inspectors are licensed and they know what they're doing so that they can go out and inspect these homes because nobody should have their home fall apart in a few years. And right now we have all of our roads on a schedule. They're ranked, they're graded, and like A to F, I don't know what the grading scale is. And as we allot budget each year for roads, they start on that list from the top, the most busy and the most failing road, all the way down to the bottom. And it will take a minute to get there, but we're going to get through all of those roads. And as citizens come to us with concerns, maybe something happens, a water line breaks or something, then we can adjust that schedule as needed to make sure that we are keeping our roads where they need to be so you can get where you need to go.
I have to echo part of what she said. I do know the Public Works Department is working diligently to fix some of the roads. And as I mentioned earlier, when I ride around town, which I do almost every day, even with the schedule that we have already to do, if I ride on a road that I see is really bad, I come back, as I said before, and talk to the Public Works Director But before I go to them, I go to the mayor because, again, the citizens, the workers of Tooele City does not work for the city council. They work for the mayor. And I can't tell one of those directors something to do. That's just not the way it works. But with that in mind, we are trying to get to all the roads, and our inspectors are licensed and they are trained, and they do a really good job. Is it perfect? No, but then there is no such thing as being perfect in the construction industry with building. But I think for the most part, we're doing a really good job. It could be better, but we're doing a good job. Thank you.
Mr. Pratt.
You know, I too saw the article that you're referring to on that subdivision. And my first thought when I saw that and was thinking about it was, whose responsibility is it for what? And who would be responsible for fixing what part of that failure? As a development is put in, sidewalks are put in as part of that development, roads are put in. And when building happens on that, the sidewalk and the road becomes the responsibility of the city for upkeep. Anything inside that sidewalk becomes the homeowner's responsibility. My first thought when I saw that article, and it's the first thing that came to my mind, was I thought, what happened right when COVID happened? We had a development that went in, and then I'll never forget this. We had an earthquake, and I'm wondering if the earth moved that caused this sink. All I know is we have a public works department that inspects building that does a fantastic job. They do an amazing job, and they do a job that protects us as homeowners on a build. And I'm sure the city will address the sidewalk and road situation.
Okay, we are going to start with Mr. Peck. What will you do to attract business to our city for economic development and job growth? And how will you support the growth and success of existing businesses, particularly small business?
Well, I love that question because as I am a small business owner, as are many people on the stand here, one of the things I would love to do is, because I know, especially on historic Main Street, I've had to go into many of those places where they have had to spend tens of thousands of dollars to bring that property to code, to meet the city codes, to have their business there. What I would like to see is a little bit of I guess a little decrease in regulation, still making the building safe, but this is someone's dream. And as a small business owner, I would like to make it easier for those who want to open a small business that requires a storefront, that they can achieve that dream. How am I going to bring businesses here? Well, I know the city has been, the city council has been talking to businesses already, and as mentioned earlier, if we are going to decrease the amount of people that have to go to Salt Lake and make a place where there's career jobs for our kids to work, we have to bring industry here. You may like that, you may not, but that's the harsh reality of the situation unless we get those industries here. And that takes a lot of coercing, a lot of negotiations, to bring any type of business here that many of the people want. So I'm happy to work with business owners, and just as the city has been doing, in bringing those businesses here to make it better for all of us, to make places for us to work, shop, eat, and do the things that we all want to do. So thank you.
Ms. Mayor?
Thanks. As one of my duties on the City Council is the Redevelopment Agency Chair, and that is actually economic development. So for the past 4 years, I have been the chair, and we have been building relationship with businesses to come here. Like I said, we've brought over $850 million worth of business development in the last 4 years and over 1,000 jobs. And I was worried, I was honestly concerned with some of the businesses that have come, are we going to be able to fill these jobs? Will people not drive to Salt Lake and stay here to work? And I'm happy to say that we have filled all of those jobs. People want to live here and they want to work here. And I have been building these relationships. We had a company called Central States come in, and they were torn between Tooele and another city. I spent the day with the leaders of Central States. We served at the served at the Tooele Thrift Store. We went to the Tooele Technical College and introduced them to the people there. We drove around town. We showed them why Tooele was the best, and they are here, and they are open, and they have hired 85 people and invested millions of dollars in our community. I am building those relationships. That is one of my biggest priorities, is to bring more business here, because that's how we keep our tax rates low. Thank you.
McCall.
As the vice chair of the RDA, I have to agree with her because I was in a lot of those meetings, and she's correct. We have brought a lot. And for instance, Smith's right now, who's doing interviews for new hires, 600 people that they want to hire for the new Smiths. That's 600 more jobs. With the property that is city-owned property, like out, not necessarily at Peterson Industrial, but out in the business park corridor, one of the things that we did as the RDA and with the mayor and the city is made sure that the property that we own out there is shovel-ready. And meaning shovel-ready, when businesses come into town and they want to locate here, they want to do as little as they possibly can in order to break ground. And if you have the land shovel-ready, that is a big deal for them. So we've done, over the past few years, a lot to get the property that the city owns ready for development, and we've been meeting with other businesses to come to Tooele. The next phase, which I hope I can be a part of with your support, is bringing some more high-tech jobs into town. That's what we're looking at now. And they pay pretty good. I might have to go back to work. Thank you.
Gossett.
You know, it's a good question, but honestly, everybody in this room has been in Tooele for a while, right? Have you ever seen this much growth in the city? Have you ever seen that many businesses come in? The cool thing about that is they're not having to give them tax breaks to come. They've figured out that this is a beautiful place to be. It's a great place to do business, and they're coming. I know when they were putting in that strip mall, it was, is people going to go to it? Are we going to fill those places up? I don't know if you've been over and looked at the parking lot, but they're doing well. They're doing really well. My wife was a little worried. She says, once that goes in, is our store going to suffer? Are people going to quit coming downtown? But I think as people choose to stay in Tooele Valley rather than drive in, every time there's a thing, high tide raises all ships. We're seeing the same amount of business. We're still seeing people come to us. And when you don't have to drive to Salt Lake and hit all the stores while you're there, they're going to hit some of those new stores, but they're also going to have time to hit Historic Main and see some of the other stores that are here. Tooele is a great place. Those businesses are going to continue to come because we have the population and we have the people to support it. And I personally am excited about it. As those businesses open, they pay 100% tax on the businesses, where on our homes, we're paying 50% tax on our homes. So as those businesses do well and are supported by our community, it allows the city not to have to raise our taxes. So thank you.
Mr. Pratt.
You know, the top 3 goals that I have in running for mayor, and I've said this in many meetings, the top 3 goals that I had was fix our infrastructure transportation-wise, work on our water situation, and attract jobs here to Tooele. And jobs that will give our young people the opportunity to work and stay here and raise families here and be able to afford to raise those families here. And I was RDA chairman also when I served on the city council. And I had the chance to see jobs that didn't come here because of our lack of the ability to provide for those businesses the things they needed, like transportation and like water. I think that there is, we need to work on those things to attract more business here. I don't like the fact that we lose 70% of our workforce, 70+% of our workforce to Salt Lake every day to work. I'd like to keep more people here and off of SR 36 and working just down the street instead of driving into town. And that's going to attract businesses here, and not just the types of businesses that we see, but businesses that employ people at a rate that is a sustainable rate to raise a family. And that's what my goal is, and that's one of the reasons I'm running for mayor. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your chance to come here and speak and answer these questions that came from the public. On behalf of Mayor Nguyen and her staff, again, we appreciate your time, but mostly we appreciate your willingness to step up and serve. And your appreciation and your passion for this community is very evident, and we all appreciate that. For those of you behind me, thank you all for coming. Thanks for showing your passion for where you live. As Shiloh mentioned at the beginning, we would love to stay here all night. It's way past my bedtime. It's 8. I think, without exception, these folks are likely going to be more than happy to spend a half hour or so with you out in the rotunda. So at this point, you'll have an opportunity to rub shoulders, ask those other questions that weren't asked tonight, and please feel free to let your neighbors know what you saw here, what you learned here. And maybe they've got some questions. They can reach out in the days ahead. Shiloh gave you the schedule. You start seeing ballots in your mailbox within the next week. And as was mentioned earlier, these local elections are the big deal. These are the ones that are going to determine more about your quality of life over the next 2 to 4 years than anything happening 2,000 miles east of us. So enjoy your evening. Thank you for being here. Spend some time in the rotunda.